Welcome to our Arduino series of lessons. Today is lesson number 9. We are doing variables. Okay, so I have set up the codes. This is the codes for lesson number 5, and this is just the setup. So if you're not familiar with any of these, I will refer you back to lesson number 5. So I'm just going to use this code as an example in variables. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so in Arduino programming, variables are used to store and manipulate data. They are essential containers that holds values that can be used to, these are just a few examples: store sensor readings, control outputs, e.g. LEDs and motors that are be given whatever value that you've selected and what action to be performed. They can also be used for performing calculations, making decisions, e.g. if statements. Okay, so now let's take a look at the types of variables in Arduino. So we have integers. So here in bracket, this will be what you type in Arduino when you're programming or when you're declaring that variable. So this is int, meaning integers. This is for whole numbers, 1 2 3 as it goes on. Float, and you write like this in a VB when you're declaring the variable. So these are the decimal numbers, positive or negative. Characters is just char, single character, either a capital letter or a small letter. String, just like string like that. This is just sequences of the characters. They just could be a word, a sentence. You can just declare a string. Boolean, this is true or false, either 1 or 0. Arrays, these are for collection values of data of the same type. We have constants, you declare constants like that. These are changing variables like pi or the gravity. Byte, so this is when you're working with either in binary or hexadecimal or in octal or in all of those, as long as you are working in bytes or those bases from 2 up to 16. Okay, so understanding variables is very essential in programming in Arduino, as they allow you to interact with sensors, control outputs, and create a dynamic behavior in your project. Okay, so for now, let's take an example. Let's take for an example using integers, int. Okay, so what I want to do here, like just have a close look at the connection. This is our connection, and right here in our Arduino, this is the code to make this LED blink. So it is actually going to blink about half a second. So now I want to introduce variables into this code. So what do we have in this code? We have this true. So we are connected to pin 2, pin mode 2 as an output. So now let's and I'm using a red LED. So now let's declare our integer int. Instead of writing this true, I want it to be a red LED. Red LED is equals to 2. So you can declare a variable and assign a value to it initially here, or you can declare it and assign a value later in your code, is still okay. So whatever declared is int red LED is equals to 2. So now I don't have to actually write 2 anymore. I can actually write red LED like that. Same applies here. Wherever there's a 2, I'm just going to write red LED. Okay, so if you're doing bigger projects where you have main connections around, you will figure out that this is more easier to work with. You could be actually knowing that at this point I was turning a red LED on, at this point I was then turning it off. Like, it is variables make this so easy for you to track. Okay, so again in my code I have this delay time here, and it's a digit, so I'm going to declare another integer. Int delay time, I'm just going to shorten it to dt is equals to, I'm gonna say 500, like that. So now instead of writing 500, I will just write dt as in delay time. So one other thing, if I decide to change this port I'm using, I can just simply just come here and type in 3, and all my code from here and here will be edited at once. Here I can also come and change the delay time to a second, and I don't really have to come and edit these. So in other words, it is more workable with variables in your code than just not using the variables. Okay, so now I want to go, let me just load up this code and see if it runs perfectly well. Okay, so it's compiling. It's taking a bit longer. We have an error. D delay. Oh yeah, I did put a double D there. Okay, sorry, my bad. Let's load it again. Okay, our code is successfully loaded, and for some reason, I had a loose connection right there at the point. So I'm having a loose connection with my with that wire right there, but as you can see, our LED is now blinking. So sometimes you have to, when you have errors like that, you have to actually check on your connections. After checking on your connections, if still doesn't work, you come back and check on your code if they are, you actually haven't missed anything that might make the LED not light. Okay, so that's our first project using variables in Arduino. So now if you actually want to change this to quarter of a second, you just come here and change dt there, then choose another pin. If you choose to use pin 3, you can just tap in there, and now you have to change 3 here. Just so easy like that. Now let's load it again. So we have changed the value of dt here, which is 250. So we have changed here and here. So if you want these variables different, you could declare an integer dt1 and set it to another variable, and another int dt2 and set it to another variable, so that this will be more workable with and more user friendly. Okay, so now as you can see, our LED is now blinking faster. Okay, so now let me just delete this code as we go to our next example using variables. Okay, now I'm just going to load it, so for that LED to stop blinking. Okay, so for our next example, we are going to do decimal. We want to declare a float. So in declaring a float, you simply type in float, then you put on a float. What can be float? I'm going to put on pi, which is equals to 3.373, just like that. Then I'm going to close it. Okay, so I'm just going to create a simple project just to show you can simply display decimal figures. So in here, I'm just going to call in a serial monitor. So it's a serial dot begin 9600 float pi. So we have pi's value. So what do you want to do? We want to say pi is equal to pi plus 0.2, which is another constant, which you can just declare a constant just like that. And then we have serial monitor, serial dot print new line pi, like that. So what is this code is going to do is that it is just going to simply run. It is going to keep incrementing the value of pi with 0.2 as it goes on. So now let's just load our code in our Arduino. Oh, done uploading, which means I need my serial monitor right here. Okay, so I didn't put the value of delay, but as you can see the numbers are incrementing. Let me add the delay there. Let me add the delay. So I'm going to declare another int right here, int dt equals to 500, which is going to be half a second, like that. Not like that, like this. Delay dt, just like that. Now let's again load it. Uploading to serial monitor again. So now it is running a bit slow, but if you take a look, it says incrementing with 0.2 here, which means these are the numbers that are changing. 5, 7, 9, 1 repeatedly, and this 7 is not changing because 0.2 just does not affect it anyhow. So you can create better projects working with the variable float. Okay, so now let's switch to another variable, which is going to be a string. Okay, so a string, we're just going to declare a string like that. Yeah, a string name is going to be Rotek. Okay, like that. Delay, yes, we still need that. This line, however, so it's a serial dot print serial dot print. What do I want to print? I want to print what is your name? No, I wanted to print my name is. Okay, so after that it is going. Now I'm going to change here to name, variable name. Just like that. So what this code is going to do, it is actually going to run repeatedly, telling that its name is rotic. Okay, now let's take a look about that. Okay, what seems to be wrong? Cannot convert string to long unsigned int. Oh, delay shouldn't be name. Wow, that was a mistake. Delay should be dt. That was a mistake. That was quite a mistake. Okay, it is finally uploaded. Now let's check our serial monitor. My name is Rotik. So you could actually create better projects just with working with variable string. So we've actually managed to combine this variable name, which is Rotik, with this statement, and we've gotten something up like that. Okay, so that is up for this lecture number 9. Lecture number 9 part 2, we shall be talking about variables of bytes. We shall be talking about bytes, so kindly stay tuned to our next tutorial.